welcome back to the channel. Now, quite a while ago, many moons in fact, I did a glue up, which I kind of walked away from because I did an incredibly bad job. It's IROKO with ebony, and as you can see, some of the gaps down the edge are about a mile wide, which is why I just put it down to inexperience and just walked away. I was sorting through my stores and I came across this and I thought, well, I know a bit more now and it might be able to be saved. So I'm going to give this a go and see if we can make something out of it. Now this, as it stands, won't go on the lathe because it'll catch, so I need to round off the corners first, and I'll just do that with a bandsaw. So I'm going to get some calipers, measure the centre, draw a circle, and then just trim off the edges. Right, there we go. My bandsaw is even worse at me at cutting straight lines. I did intentionally think about using a worm screw to mount this, but I'm fairly sure the wood will hold. I'm sure the joint, when it dried, I'm sure that's fine, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to use a faceplate, just to be safe. Now, to make sure I get this faceplate in the right place, I've just knocked this drive spur into the centre. I'll sit that over the top, and then I can screw that in. Right, tail stuck at the start. I'll sharpen up and we'll see if I'm wasting my time or if we can actually make something out of this. Okay, face mask on, standing well to the side. Okay, looks like I didn't do quite as bad a job at the glue up as I thought I had. It's a little bit rough area there, but I think that'll turn away in a second. So I'll do a few more passes and then we'll have another quick look at it. That's going to be absolutely fine. All these years it's been sat on the shelf and I've just kept on picking it up and putting it back down again. Ah. I think quite a nice little elegant bowl will do. So a little bit more in the sides, and a nice little foot on the bottom. Joins the sound. I wonder what that is. There's a strange white bit appeared. I have no idea what that is. Okay, well, it's part of the wood, so it's meant to be there. I'm just going to sharpen up again and do some finishing cuts on here, and then we'll sort out the base. And the last little bit I can get with the sanding, but that last cut, you can see it's shine on the surface, so you can see it was cutting all right. I'm going to take away the tailstock, so I'm fairly certain that this is going to be okay, and we'll finish off the base. Okay, we're ready for sanding. Like always, I'll let you watch a bit of it, and then I'll just crack on and finish it off. Okay, we've sanded up to quite a high grit. I've already cleaned it with the isopropyl alcohol, so now I'm just going to go in with a shellac sealer and give it a good old coating. Now the wood we've used here does have quite an incredible chatoyance when it gets polished up to a high shine, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's the IROKO. The ebony is just going to be dark and beautiful. I'll let that sit. I might do a second coat, but we'll see how it goes. I don't often get a chance to work on African hardwoods, so I'm going to try and get it looking as pretty as we know it can look. Okay. Now we're going to go in with the Yorkshire grit. I'm just going to clean off with isopropyl again. See what it pulls off. If you don't clean it off, whatever you pull off now will just normally get left in on the bowl and it would ruin the finish. There you go. We'll let it dry off, and then we're going to put the final finish on. For the final finish of the bowl, I want it to be food safe, but I also want it to have a reasonably high shine. So I'm going to make up a shine juice which is food safe. So we're going to do a mix of raw linseed oil and shellac. Boiled linseed oil is not food safe. And the proportions for this is, if you have bottled shellac, then it's about 1/3 oil to 2/3 shellac. There we go. Put the lid on. Give it a shake. I'm going to put this on with a bit of cotton rag. Doesn't necessarily need to be cotton rag, but that's what I like to use. Put it on fairly liberally, and then rather than letting it sit, we're going to buff it in. It's always best to wear gloves for this because it will get quite messy. Put the lid back on. Using the same cloth you applied it with. And hopefully, as you can see, that's given us a nice high shine. Beautiful. Right, let's turn this around. Okay, we're using tailstock support for this side. So as you know, always be safe when you can. I'll sharpen up again and we'll start hollowing this out. I think that's the worst bit of the glue line there. There's about 1 millimetre, well, half a mil gap, which is what I saw at the start and which is the reason why I didn't pursue this in the first place. But I'm so glad I have now. I've got quite a big gap there. I've got some chipping on the ebony this side as well as a few rough edges, so I'm just going to alter the profile of the lip just to try and get away from these problems we've got without having to fill anything. I think we're there. Right, just going to do some scraping on the inside to get rid of the tool marks, and then it's about ready for sanding. Beautiful. Right, back to sanding. You know what I'm going to say. I'll let you watch the start, but then I'll finish off by myself. Okay, sanding's done. Now it's time for a couple of coats of shellac sealer. Right, we'll let that sit in, and then we'll apply another coat, and then go on with the Yorkshire grit. Right, once again, let that set up. And have the Yorkshire grit. Isopropyl again, just to clean it off. We'll let this dry, and then we'll put on our shine juice. Give it a shake. Nice liberal coating. Lid back on. Now we buff. I'm just going to get a clean piece of cloth just to take off any excess. Right, I'll take this off and we'll take a look at what we've done. And here we have it, IROKO bowl inlaid with ebony. Kind of kick myself now for not having tackled this sooner, but you know, you make decisions at the time on best judgment, and luckily I've had the chance to go back and rectify that mistake. So this is really quite sweet, isn't it? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, I'd appreciate a like, thumbs up, and all those other things. And if you leave a comment as well in the section below, then you get entered into a competition for when we get to 2,500 subscribers, and you could win a bowl like this or something else. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you next time.